You can now watch Madison County School Sports on WKYT.com. Just go to WKYT.com/yourtown and click Richmond. WKYT TV, an official sponsor of Madison County School Sports. Time Warner Business Class. Call Time Warner Cable today. Watch Madison County School Sports programming on Madison County Schools Cable Channel 9, Time Warner Cable Channel 5, on YouTube, and now on WKYT.com/yourtown and click Richmond.
Oh, the gridiron. A classic rectangle layout of boundaries and yardage numbers. A place where dreams and goals are realized and touchdowns are made. Nothing in sports rivals great high school football games in the fall of the year. Take a deep breath and inhale the drama. Traditions. Sights and sounds emanate from the locker room to the stadium crowds. Listen to that crowd. It pumps you up to root for your team, your high school football team. On this night, this high school football night, it's your team out there. Welcome, fans. Welcome to your field, your high school field. It's football night in Madison County. It must be high school football season. Welcome to the Bert Browne Show.
Picked off in the end zone. Great play. Here it goes. Oh, big hit by Brandon Parks. Bosley is taking it all the way. 10-5 touchdown. Wow. What a huge interception return.
This program is brought to you by L81, a proud sponsor of Madison County School Sports Television. Renfro's Paint and Collision Center in Richmond and Berea, 369-4111. Renfro's Paint and Collision, sponsor of Hit of the Game.
Touchdown Indians, and the defense did it with 11-12 to go in the first quarter. That's a start right there. Wow. I didn't see who the hit came from. It was the left end, but I couldn't tell who was lined up over there. But the big hit to the quarterback who never saw it coming. Parks picks up the pigskin and takes it the distance. We'll wait and see what Hugh Davis, stat man extraordinaire, gives it officially. But it's going to be in the neighborhood of 35, 36 yards for a Brandon Parks touchdown.
Hey everybody, I'm Jerry Goebel, local State Farm insurance agent in Richmond, Kentucky, and a proud supporter of Madison County High School sports. Stop in and see us and get your discount double check. Welcome to the Bert Browne Show. Coach, glad to be with you tonight. I know it's kind of mixed emotions at the end of the season always, unless you won the whole thing. But you guys obviously had a great season, and we want to talk about that tonight. I'm joined with Coach Bert Browne of the Madison Central Football Indians, and I'm Jerry Goebel. We're going to be talking tonight really about this past season, what went on, what successes were there, what things you want to work on and build on from this season, and then we'll kind of talk a little bit about sneak peek at next year as well. So, Coach, let's start off talking about, obviously your team made the playoffs. I think you have to feel like there was, again, improvement, successes. It didn't end the way you wanted to, but you had a good year. What do you tell your kids at the end of the year like this?
Well, we had a good year. We left some goals out there on the field that we didn't accomplish, and if you accomplish all your goals and you don't win a state championship, you haven't set your goals high enough. So, of course, we wanted to repeat as district champions. Did not do that. Felt like That was one of our big goals, and to do some other things. But you know, in the history of my coaching career, I don't know that I've been around a football team that has had as many injuries as we did, especially to some of our seniors. You know, we lost our 2 guards there that really hurt us a lot to not have. It's not to say those kids that filled in for them didn't do a good job, but they weren't seniors that weighed 250, 270 pounds, you know. Those guys that filled in for them are going to be good players, and they're going to do some things down the road very good for us. And then they did good. The kids that filled in did a good job. But you know, anytime you take a kid like Chris Walters and take him out of the mix, and he's 255 pounds and squats 515 pounds, that hurts you. But for the most part, we did some good things. I know our seniors. You know, we would have liked to advance past the second round, but we did win a playoff game for the first time around here, I guess, in a few years. So, you know, I think our seniors did some things that a lot of people probably didn't think they could after their sophomore year. Their freshman year, I think the varsity won no games, and then their sophomore year, the varsity, we won 1 game with several of those guys starting. Yeah. And then the next year we win the district championship, and then this year we added to that by winning a playoff game and then going and playing the number 15 team in the country that won the state championship with a running clock.
Yeah.
You know, so there were some good things done.
Absolutely. Talk a little bit about the Trinity game. I know not a lot of good things to pull from that other than the experience of playing a great football team and probably a great environment there. But talk a little bit about that game and what you saw out of that Trinity team.
Well, I saw a lot of kids that they can play. And, you know, I've talked many times about the public-private thing. You know, we're playing with a bunch of Richmond, Kentucky boys. And we don't have anybody from Georgetown or anybody from Lexington or anybody from Garrett County or anybody from Estill County. We got a bunch of Richmond, Kentucky kids, and I know they have kids from Indiana and surrounding counties. And so, you know, it's just, I mean, the thing about that is, and you know, you have some people say this or that, but if you know, they played for the state championship, won it, and they got a running clock on PRP. You know, there's something wrong. And it's a shame, but it's just a shame that teams are allowed to have kids that are from just anywhere. And of course, our kids went up there and fought a good fight, and they didn't quit. And but when you run into a buzzsaw like that have several Division I players on the team that are going all over, and you know, it was a tough loss for our kids the last game of the season. But I felt like our kids went up there and they prepared well all week, and just ran into one of the top probably 5 teams in the country, really. Yeah.
Well, you know, we're going to talk a little bit in the second segment about the program here and what you've got to do over a long term to be competitive in those environments. Obviously, for this team in specific, there's some special kids for you that I know you hate to see go. Talk about some of those seniors, and I don't necessarily want us to, I'd like to give them an opportunity to get a little credit for what they've done for the program.
Well, there's several kids that you really don't hear their name a lot that contribute. You know, Matt Brooks was a senior for us, played tackle for us. That, you know, you don't hear a lot about offensive linemen. Tyler McKinley. You know, you hear about Taylor Nunley because Taylor played defense, and so you hear his name called. But and of course, Christian Carter got hurt the second game of the year, and then Chris Walters got hurt before the season started, and then played a couple games and got hurt again. But you know, you got Christian Altamirano, kid that worked hard and got hurt and missed the last half of the season. And you know, there's several kids on our football team, several seniors that did a great job for us over the years, and we're going to miss those guys. I think we're losing maybe 25 seniors.
Wow.
So, anytime you lose that many seniors, you do hate to see them go, because that's that's one thing in today's world. Kids have so many other things to do. I fight that battle with them every day, trying to get kids out, but they can go home and play in the Super Bowl in the air condition on their PlayStation. So a lot of them don't want to play football, and they miss a lot of good things, I think, by not doing that, not playing football or not playing any athletics or any kind of activity. You're missing out tremendously, that I think as you get older and you get on up there in years, you wish you would have done so.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you got a lot of skilled kids that got a lot of the calls during the games, but you'll miss those kids as well. I know you just had a really good senior group, and tough to replace.
It is. I mean, anytime you get a bunch like that, that is anytime you can have that many, having 25, 24, 23 seniors, anytime you have that many seniors, you're probably going to be pretty good, I would think. I mean, I would love to have 25 seniors every year. I think we'd be pretty dang good.
Yeah.
But we are going to miss those kids, because there's a lot of kids in there in the skill positions that can make plays when there's not plays there. And anytime you have kids like Kenja Bosley, Dominique Hawkins, that when they get the ball in their hand, they can make people miss them or go up and make a catch or do things like that, or outrun people. Those guys are hard to replace, simply because I talk to our kids all the time about hustle. Run down and tackle people. If somebody's running for a touchdown, keep running, chase them down. If you tackle them on the one, the next play could be a fumble.
Yeah.
So when you get a chance to get a big play, you need to score with it, and we're going to miss a lot of those guys that had the capability of doing so.
Yeah, I know. Several. You mentioned Trinity having a lot of players that'll play next year. There's a lot of kids on your team that I know we can't talk about specifics, but I know there's a lot of kids that have the potential to play football at the next level if they want to do that. So.
And we've had quite a few coaches come through here looking at some of our guys, and I think that we've got a couple guys that are going to maybe have an opportunity also in basketball to maybe decide and pick what sport they want to play, and then we're going to have some guys that are going to have an opportunity to go on and play football at the collegiate level. And it's not like passing out bubble gum. They just don't pass out scholarships. I mean, that's something that I think that people really don't understand, how hard it is to get a football scholarship. Even though there's, I guess Eastern's got 65 and Kentucky's got maybe 85 or 83 scholarships that they can give. And then you get into basketball, they've got 13. And then you get into football or baseball, I think Division I baseball has 11 and a half maybe. And I tell our kids all the time, if you want to get there and you want to do those things, you've got to outwork kids in Atlanta, Florida, Texas, because they can go anywhere to get them. So it's a tough thing to get a football scholarship, but we've got a few that have got a shot to go on and further their career.
Good stuff. Well, I know we had a season filled with excitement. You start with the Roy Kidd Bowl win, an exciting game, and you come back here, you get a first home win in a brand new stadium. You had a year, a playoff win. You had a year filled with a lot of highs. What do you say to those kids as you wrap things up and you come back here and know the season's over? What did you say to the kids that you're basically going to be coaching for the last time?
Well, after the Trinity game, it's those kids didn't deserve to go out that way, to lose like that, and that's one of the things that bothers me about the private school thing like I talked about. Our kids deserved, if anything, to go out with a 28-21 loss or a 35-28 loss. But I told the guys, I said, hey, we just played one of the best teams in the nation, and nobody gave up. We fought to the end, and it's a life lesson, because you got to get up and you got to keep going. And so, but I talked to him after the game about, when I got here, I've taken over some programs, a couple programs, one in Tennessee, one at Perry Central that was down, but this one, there was a lot of work to do and a lot of weight room to do, and our kids, they were sophomores when I got here, these seniors, and they busted their tail, and really worked extremely hard to get to the level that we got. To win the district, go undefeated in the district as juniors, and then, they're 5-1 the last 2 years in district play. A break here and there against Lafayette, maybe that's different. Maybe we're district champions again, but we won a first-round playoff game that a lot of people probably thought we could not do, and then hit the buzzsaw named Trinity.
Yeah.
So. But it was a great year it was a great 3 years, really. Well, I'll say 2 years for these seniors, because none of us enjoyed the 1 year where we won one football game, the first game of the year. But I think these kids just did some tremendous things.
Well, we're going to talk more. I know your job doesn't end. You woke up next day and next season's already started in your mind. So we're going to talk more about that and what you guys need to do for the next year and the years to come in building the program when we come back on the Bert Browne Show.
Thanks to our great sponsors: State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service in Richmond, Renfro's Paint and Collision in Richmond and Berea, Eastside Community Church, Richmond, Premier Home Care and Premier Rehab, Guardian Bank, Hopper's Jewelry, Richmond, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, WKYT.com, Berea Online, Richmond Tourism, and the Richmond Chamber of Commerce.
Aw, that is just the cutest thing. Whether you're going out of town, on business, spring break, vacation, or just to get away, Luxury Pet Service is a phone call away. Luxury Pet Service is owned and operated by LaDonna Sizemore Whitecamp. You'll be secure in knowing your pet will be taken care of by highly trained and loving professionals. Luxury Pet Services also has grooming services and extraordinary daycare service too. Our mission at Luxury Pet Services is to care for your pet in a safe and friendly environment where dogs have fun. When you leave your dog with us, it's like leaving a member of your family, and that is a responsibility we take seriously. Luxury Pet Services is located about 3 minutes from Richmond Center. Visit our website or Facebook us. Luxury Pet Services, the home for happy dogs.
Make the most of your trip to the Red River Gorge in Kentucky with scenic cabin rentals, or delight in the mountainside beauty of the Daniel Boone National Forest. Whether you are planning a long vacation or just looking for a few days away from it all, check out sceniccabin.com. Our rental cabins and lodge are located close to the Red River Gorge and Natural Bridge Resort State Park. Family reunions, corporate retreats, weddings, and other large groups are very welcome. Cabins are available for small groups of 2 to 6 or large groups up to 15. All of our cabins are modern with city water, satellite TV, paved roads, full-service kitchens, modern bathrooms and showers, decks, grills, and outdoor fire pits. Many have hot tubs and game rooms or gaming tables like pool or ping pong, foosball, and air hockey. A few have internet. Visit sceniccabin.com online or check us out on our Facebook page. sceniccabin.com. Shouldn't you start planning that relaxing mountain getaway now?
Celebrate the holidays through the end of January 2013 at Davenport Custom Guitars, 807 East Main Street in Richmond. Pick up your strings, pedals, straps, picks, and more. Better yet, let Davenport Custom Guitars custom build your next Telecaster or Stratocaster. Need repairs? How about refins? They do that too. Need aged guitar parts? Well, they have them too. Introducing Sick Line Aged Guitar Parts at Davenport Custom Guitars. Celebrate the holidays through the end of January 2013 at Davenport Custom Guitars, 807 East Main Street in Richmond.
I want you to watch Madison County Schools Sports Television.
Renfro's Collision, the only body shop with 2 Madison County locations, is here to serve you. At Renfro's Collision, you can look forward to the best possible repair experience. We have the latest tools, training, equipment, and technology. We have what others don't have. Why take the risk with someone else? Contact us at 369-4111 for a completely free estimate. It's your car, it's your choice. Don't let an insurance company tell you otherwise. Renfro's Paint and Collision.
Welcome back to the Bert Browne Show. I'm again joined by Coach Bert Browne here in the Madison Central Football Locker Room. Coach, we talked a little bit about the end of last season, but of course now we're at the turning point and ready to get going toward next season. And while kids might be doing other sports and other things, I know from a coaching standpoint, you're already focused on next year. Talk a little bit about what you guys try to do and what you try to do with the kids that are available.
Well, we've started our weight program, and I gave them a couple weeks off after the season to relax and take some time away from it. And the coaches need to get away from it also, because, the coaches are always here. Even during the season, we're here 7 days a week. It gives the players and the coaches some time off to where they can get away. We started weightlifting, and we've got into that. So any of the guys that want to play football are in the weight room. If they're not playing another sport, they're in our weight room now lifting with us. And, our biggest goal, and I talked to the seniors the other day about this, we have got to outwork people because, we've lost some playmakers. And that's what I told our kids. I said, we don't have any 40-inch verticals on our football team right now. With Kenjai and Dominique, we did. We had guys that just could go up and, Dominique or Kenjai at receiver, you saw it all year. He just went up and took the ball away from people. And this year, we're not going to have anybody that has that jumping ability. And Bosley's just got a great skill set. I mean, he's probably one of the top 3 receivers in the state of Kentucky. And that's hard to replace a guy like that. And I told our seniors, we're going to have to outwork people for us to be successful. You've got to work harder than you've ever worked in your life. And I told them about the leadership role. They got to take a great leadership role in the weight room also, and make sure those underclassmen that have to help them are working extremely hard too.
Yeah. Now you talked earlier about the good programs. However it happens that good kids move there, whether that's because that's what the parents, whether it's legitimate that the parents decide to live there because it's a good program, we never know that. But I do know this, there have been some really good examples of programs who have grown kids up. And they've started it young, and they've made football a prestige situation where the kids wanted to be a part of that program from youngsters. How do you do that in this area? Can you do that?
Well, I think success. Success, kids see it and they want to play. And also our new football stadium, I think the other one we had was one of the worst looking around for a big school, a 4, 5, 6A school. It was pretty bad. But this facility we got now, I think that helps us. It'll help tremendously. And then success, and then you've got to go out and recruit your middle schools as a head coach. I've handwritten everybody a letter that played on the middle school football teams last year, all the 8th graders, about we'll start weights with them. We've started weights with our guys here at the high school, and then we'll bring those guys in January the 7th will be the first day on that Monday to start lifting weights with those guys and getting them in here and getting them acclimated to the things we do. And then I'll have a day there where I would like to bring the 8th graders over here towards the end of the year, and the 8th grade boys that'll be around kind of have a talk with those guys, anybody that wants to play. Because we need 50, 60 freshmen every year to compete on the level that we play on. To be able to win 8, 9, 10, 11 games a year, we have to have a big freshman class, and we got to keep a lot of those kids, it's one of those things as coaches, we get to the middle school games when we can. They play a lot of those on Tuesday night, and it's kind of hard for us to get over there a lot of times and watch them play because we're coming off the practice field watching film, doing weights, doing stuff. And by the time we get out of here, Usually it's late. A lot of times you need to get home, and those games are about done or over at the time. A lot of times but we try to make a concerted effort to get to those games and watch some of those kids. Watch all the kids, but watch the middle school games when we can. And so it's just you got to cultivate it, and you got to talk to these kids and get out there in the middle schools. I'll be out to the middle schools and talking to them here before too long again, and because there's several kids that are on the border. They don't know if they want to play or not to play, and sometimes the head coach going out and talking to them will make a difference. In a kid playing or a kid not playing. A prime example of that, John Revere. He's now the running back coach at Eastern Kentucky University. I coached with John at LaGrange High. Marty Carter, he had Marty Carter in a PE class his freshman year, and Marty's a little bitty guy, but John said he's a great little athlete, and he talked him into coming out for football, and he came out, played, and played, I think, 8 or 9 years, maybe 10 in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, that guy wasn't going to play if it hadn't been for a coach saying, man, you need to play, And a lot of times kids don't understand. Just because you're small right now doesn't mean you're going to be small for the next 4 years, or even the small guys. I mean, we got 2 great freshman running backs in Corian Cryer and Johan Williams that aren't very big guys, but they're great runners and powerful and awful tough kids. So just because you're small doesn't mean you can't play. There's been plenty of guys playing in the NFL that were small.
How important is the kids, having a number of kids come out wanting to play just from the competition for spots? How important?
Well, I mean, you just said it. Any time that you are pushed, if you're a competitor, you're going to get better in practice. And if you're on a football team that doesn't have that many kids, and some kids know, well, I can play, so I don't have to really work too hard because there's nobody else.
Yeah.
Anytime you can get big numbers and create a competitive atmosphere, and you get competitive kids, they get better. They're going to get better. Even some kids that aren't starting are going to get better because they're pushing themselves so that they can get that starting job. And there's 66 starting jobs in football. I tell kids that all the time. There's 66 spots, offense, defense, and the different special teams. So, there's a lot of chances for kids to play, and I think we ought to have a big freshman class coming in from all 3 middle schools, and that just creates a competitiveness and makes kids better.
How many? How much can the kids themselves actually help recruit other kids?
Oh, well, I tell them all the time. I told our seniors the other day in our meeting. I said, you guys need to get out and beat the hallways at these guys that should be playing football. Get them to play. Talk to them about playing, because I know. I've been at this since 1991, and I'll see guys that I coached in Tennessee, or guys that I coached at Perry Central, and guys that I tried to get to come out for football that didn't. That'll tell you today, well, I wish I'd have came out. And I tell them all the time. I tell the kids here, hey, give it a try. In a year, if you don't like it, don't play the next year, but don't go 5 years from now and regret it.
Yeah, well, I think it as well with the kids you've been around, them being constructively involved in something good, something disciplined. It's good for them.
Oh, yeah, there's no question that, that the sport of football, that's kind of the deal, like in the video Boys of Fall, they're talking to Bill Curry, and he said, football is not a game that you get in a car and turn on the air conditioner, eat Twinkies, and ride around and get ready to play. It's a physical game. It's a tough game. It's a very emotional game. But to me, it's a game that teaches you a lot about life, because you're going to hit obstacles, and there's going to be times when your boss might get in your tail, and you've got to take constructive criticism and do some things. And that's the thing I think about football. it's a tough game, and it's an emotional game. You play with emotion. Coaches are emotional. I tell the kids all the time, hey, we got a bunch of very competitive football coaches here that get mad at each other. That doesn't mean we don't like each other, but we might get mad at each other, and we might yell at each other, and we might get mad at players and get on players. But, I tell these kids all the time, I'm not getting on you because I don't like you. If I'm not getting on you and you're doing something wrong, you probably are out of anything that I have thinking that you're going to play for us, because I'm not going to, if somebody doesn't do what they're supposed to do and didn't do what they're supposed to do, I'm not going to waste that time on somebody that will not do what you tell them to do when I could be, when we could be coaching up another kid that's going to listen, going to do what he's told to do, going to do right in school, going to act right in the community. I tell the kids that all the time. We're getting on you. It's not because we hate you. It's because we care about you. We want you to do good. We want you to be a better person. And teach you some values. And sometimes that, you got to get on people. I mean, it's not a patting on the fanny all the time. This isn't fourth grade football, and you don't go out in the working world and everybody get a blue ribbon and a big job. I mean, you got to work for those things, and that's what I think is the great thing about football. It teaches you so much of that under adversity, you got to overcome adversity. When you're in a little pain in a football game, you got to fight through that and play and do some good things. So, and I think those kids, they learn from that. And I know you can talk to adults, I'm sure. Same thing with basketball. There's things that you learned playing high school basketball that you're using today. I guarantee it. So, anything you get into, and I say this all the time. Heck, get in the band, get in the drama club, get in the chorus. Anything, the extracurricular activity where it takes a little bit of gumption and a little bit of work.
Absolutely. Yeah, the coaches, when we were growing up, they always said, if I'm not getting on to you, you need to worry.
That's exactly right.
They have given up on you in that way. So, Coach, congratulations on a good year. I know you guys had a lot of successes, met a lot of goals, and while you didn't reach that state championship this year, it's still out there in front of us to go get. I'll be looking forward next year to get my Madison Central football shirt. And so with that, we're going to wrap it up here on the Bert Browne Show. Thank you guys for being with us. Look forward to seeing you next season.
Hey everybody, I'm Jerry Goebel, local State Farm Insurance agent in Richmond, Kentucky, and a proud supporter of Madison County High School sports. Stop in and see us and get your discount double check.
I want you to watch Madison County School Sports Television.
Premier Rehab specializes in orthopedic physical therapy for pain and injuries from sports, work, and automobile accidents. And they specialize in rehabilitation following orthopedic surgery, including the shoulder, knee, ankle, and spine. And they provide expert personalized care that produces outstanding results. All therapists have a minimum of 10 years experience. Premier Rehab is the only locally owned rehabilitation agency in Richmond. And in 2012, the people of Madison County voted Premier Rehab as the best outpatient physical therapy clinic in Madison County. So when you need physical therapy, it's always your choice where you go for therapy. Choose a local company, staffed with hometown professionals. Choose Premier Rehab, located at 370 Highland Park Drive, Suite 1. Premier Rehab Services. Renfro's Collision, the only body shop with 2 Madison County locations, is here to serve you. At Renfro's Collision, you can look forward to the best possible repair experience. We have the latest tools, training, equipment, and technology. We have what others don't have. Why take the risk with someone else? Contact us at 369-4111 for a completely free estimate. It's your car, it's your choice. Don't let an insurance company tell you otherwise. Renfro's Paint and Collision. Thanks to our great sponsors: State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service in Richmond, Renfro's Paint and Collision in Richmond and Berea, Eastside Community Church, Richmond, Premier Home Care and Premier Rehab, Guardian Bank, Hopper's Jewelry, Richmond, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, WKYT.com, Berea Online, Richmond Tourism, and the Richmond Chamber of Commerce.
You can now watch Madison County School Sports on WKYT.com. Just go to WKYT.com/yourtown and click Richmond. WKYT TV, an official sponsor of Madison County School Sports. Time Warner Business Class. Call Time Warner Cable today. Watch Madison County School Sports programming on Madison County Schools Cable Channel 9, Time Warner Cable Channel 5, on YouTube, and now on WKYT.com/yourtown and click Richmond.
I want you to watch Madison County School Sports Television.
Hey everybody, do you know that Richmond, Kentucky Tourism now has an iPhone app? Go to RichmondKYTourism.com to download yours today.